Angry guy here, and men are avoiding women in society. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. Men are avoiding women in society. Let's just go ahead and jump into the very first video.
Age.
24.
22.
If I was your man, what would I need to pay for you?
Pay for? Nothing.
Nothing.
So you're not expecting me to pay for dates if we went out?
Expect? I don't have expectations for
I
anybody.
also don't have expectations.
I do think it shows character. in a man.
Actions, yeah, definitely. It's not about the money. It's just about like how you treat us.
So I could be your boyfriend and not be able to afford taking you out on dates, and you'd still stick it with me through thick and thin.
If you're a good person, that's all that matters.
If the chemistry's there.
There's some people with loads of money and they treat their girlfriends like shit. So
Does that mean I don't have to pay for your hair or your nails either?
No, I've never had somebody pay for my hair and nails.
me neither.
So for a first date, if I said let's just go for a walk in the park, you'd be fine with that too?
Yeah.
I prefer a walk in the park
Same.
than a dinner for the first date.
Definitely. I think it's more casual and laid back and you can actually get to know the person.
Now, guys, I want you to know this video was actually titled Middle Eastern Women versus American Women. And a lot of these guys are immediately saying, oh my gosh, these women are so wonderful. These women are so special. And the crazy thing is that you have to be an experienced man to actually decipher this. These two girls right here are not in the waltz. These two girls right here are actually women you have to be very, very careful of because they are dishonest. Comments say, every good man deserves good women like this. As a woman, I believe them. They're speaking from their heart, and I love that. Women with class. Protect them at all costs. That's what they always say. Protect these women at all costs. Beautiful and down to earth girls, they hardly exist anymore. She looks at her friend like, are you going to let me talk? These are great women, raised right. Congrats to their future husbands. Now, let me explain something to you guys. There were some serious and automatic red flags here. One of those red flags is women basically saying everything that you want to hear. So these are Middle Eastern women. They're of Middle Eastern descent. But as you can see, they have perfect American accents. So they are likely American born. And the crazy thing about this is that I've warned you guys that foreign women know how to compete for men. So when you ask a foreign woman something like, oh, how tall does the guy have to be? I don't care. She'll go, I don't care. Really? Okay, so what if he's 5'6"? She'll go, I'm 5'3", right? Try to say like, oh, well, I'm already 5'3", so a guy who's 5'6" is great for me, right? And they'll go, how much money does he have to make? I don't care. I don't care how much money he makes. Okay, so if he makes $20,000 a year, you're fine with that? Yep, perfectly fine with that. Because money doesn't mean everything. It's about the character of the man. First off, a woman that goes and picks up a guy in the United States making only $20,000 a year is not going to be able to survive. How is he going to provide for her making $20,000 a year? Would you tell a woman to go and go mess around with a guy only making $20,000 a year that doesn't have his life together? It's one thing if, let's say, the guy owns land and he has other sources of income, he has his life together, he has savings, so it may not be as evident that this guy is very well off. But if he's only making $20,000 a year, living in his parents' house, and smoking reefer all day, I don't think that's the guy that a lot of women should be focusing on. I mean, don't get me wrong, he may be living his best life on his own, right? But saying that you want to marry someone and start a family in America on that kind of income is ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And that also means that this guy is not on his hustle. He's not on his grind. He's not trying to build himself up, work on himself. Because just because men are walking away from Western society doesn't mean that you're not focusing on being the best version of yourself. You know, just sitting around all day long, you know, with very little money in your pockets, doing nothing. That's no way to live. You're not like, you don't even care about your future. So these women, they gave themselves away a bit. And if you notice at one point in the video, he does, you know, one of the girls says that, you know, while money isn't important, you know, and they don't expect the man to spend any money on them on a first date. At the same time, it does show character. Notice she says it does show character. Him spending money on her does show character. So they are interested in a man who is spending money on them. Both of these women want a man with money. If they live in the United States, especially with these expenses, they're all looking for a man that has money. And when they act like they don't care about money at all, you have to be very, very careful. A common response should be, you know, should be more along. If a woman is marrying a man, she's seriously considering a relationship with a guy, and they're discussing if money doesn't matter. The correct answer is money doesn't matter to me. However, of course, I want to be with someone who has their life together and can support a family. Right? So I'm not looking for someone who's wealthy or rich, but I'm looking for someone who is serious and that wants to build a family together. That is a normal response. That's the right response. These women are smart. They are raised by traditional parents. They're raised to be wives and mothers. And they know exactly what's going on in Western society. They realize that there is a mind virus currently spreading among women in Western society. They want the exact same things that Western women want. And these girls have body counts too. Trust me, 24, they have a body count. These girls have body counts, but they're never going to go out and make it public. They're not going to talk about all the dudes that they've been with and hookups or anything. They're going to present themselves like, you know, they're modest and pure. And by presenting oneself as though you're modest and pure, it makes it less likely that a guy would even approach or broach the subject of what your body count is based on the way you carry yourself. But they have body count. Trust me on that. But they're smart enough not to put that out there and not to discuss that publicly. Because men don't want unmodest women. They know exactly what they're doing. They are smart. But you have to be very, very careful. You have to look for the very small things. It's kind of like how in China, you know, they control the news and the media. However, you know, when you read the news in China, just the smallest word can change an entire piece about something. One single word can change the entire meaning of what someone is trying to convey in China. This is something I learned many years ago, because that's how they operate. They cannot publicly say, well, we don't support this or that. So the Chinese have to read things very critically, and just a single word can express disdain with a government, with a political choice that a government has made, or a variety of different things. Just one word. Here, when this woman said, you know, spending money on the woman, it does show character, she slipped up. She absolutely slipped up. Because then they go on to say that, you know, there's men who have lots of money and they treat women very poorly and all this other stuff. So why would you say it does show character to spend money on a woman? It does not show character. Spending money on a woman does not show character. Nor does it show, oh, it shows that he's serious. No, it doesn't show that he's serious. You just said it a moment ago. Oh, because, you know, there's a lot of men with money, and just because they have money doesn't mean that they actually care about you. There's a lot of dudes that are playing with women. They have plenty of money, so they, you know, they'll play with a girl. You know, they'll play with her, they'll get what they want from her, and then they'll be out. Isn't the honest to goodness truth? These women are gamers. However, they're just playing the game differently. And here's something intriguing for you guys. In Middle Eastern culture, typically it's the man who pays all of the bills in the family, and the woman's basically the woman, she decides, she does whatever she wants with her money, and it's the man's responsibility to cover everything. That's something that does happen in Islam, but it's really a cultural thing in the Middle East. It's a cultural thing. So these women are literally jokers. Oh, I don't want him to. I don't care if he pays for anything. Oh, he doesn't need to pay for your hair and makeup. Oh, our nails. Oh, no, I've never had a man pay for. Guys, these guys, notice how naive they act. They act like they don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't know. I've never heard of any of these things. Guys, this is the same thing you're gonna get from women as feminism is crashing and burning around them. And they can't eat, they can't buy food, they cannot survive, and they're out there trying to get a man. I told y'all they're gonna say Fema what? Fema who? Fema, Fema, Fema. Is that a new song? Is that a new dance? Do you mean FEMA camp? Oh, I've heard of those places. They're terrible. I don't want to go there. Oh, I've always been more of a girly girl, you know. I love Jesus and I want to have a family. I love, you know, I like taking care of my man, you know, cooking and cleaning. Guys, they're gonna be out here lying in the streets. These women don't even know how to cook. They don't even know they burn water, but they're gonna be out here lying in the streets because times are hard and they need to pretend. And once they have a man locked down, you know, once they have him locked down, that's that's basically the end of it. And see, men are foolish because they will emotionally invest very quickly, and women know this. And the smartest move by a woman is to feed him and F him. So make sure that his belly is full and his sack is empty. That's the trick to a man. And a lot of dudes are lazy. So if a woman can get a man in Western society, she doesn't have to be a good cook. There's a lot of women who believe that microwaving chicken nuggets makes them a chef. There are so many women that will literally go microwave some chicken nuggets, and if they can make some rice, they will make some rice, or microwave some like frozen meatballs, put it with some rice, put some ketchup on it, hand it to a man, and this idiot will eat it and be grateful for it. And it's like some very basic stuff. And then she'll make sure that his sack is empty afterwards. He'll go to bed with a full belly, empty sack, and she'll just be quiet around him. And that's it. And he's going to say, oh, she's wonderful. So she doesn't bother him when he's playing video games. She feeds him, and she she drains his sack. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, she's in the wall. She's perfect. And it's so crazy. It's so absolutely crazy. I warn guys about that. Do not trust them, because after you marry her, she's going to play a game of gotcha. I gotcha. I totally got you. I fooled you. I got you good. So it's basically like a truck. I've talked about this. Like, marriage is nothing more than it's nothing more than the whole ice cream truck thing, where basically basically the van the van marked off with that says free candy. It's nothing more than a trap. There's candy, all right. Someone said this in one of my commenting when I made a poll about it. They said there's candy, all right. There's lots and lots of candy in the beginning until you're safely tied up and loaded into the van or loaded into the trunk, and then there's no more candy for you. That's really how it is. Once they have you locked into the relationship, sometimes they don't even make it all the way to marriage. For example, there was a guy who I saw a post on Quora, and he said that his girlfriend suddenly stopped, she suddenly stopped emptying his sack, using oral release. And he asked her, what's going on? Why are you, because he had proposed to her. He proposed to her. They were now engaged, and she told him she wasn't going to do it anymore. And he said, what's going on? And she literally told him that she had tricked him. She said, I tricked you. I tricked you. I got you. Okay? And now you're stuck with me. And he basically went online and asked about it and said, oh, he loves her and and he doesn't want to mess up the relationship, but also that was something that he enjoyed a lot, and now she's taking it away from him. And a lot of people were like, well, they knew, even women knew, and they were trying to like dance around it, like, it's good that you have a relationship. I get that's something you would have to really discuss with her. Guys, she tricked him. She tricked him, all right? She fished him. And this is what a lot of these women will do. They'll fish these guys, or finesse them, and they can't even. And the thing is, they don't want to do these things. They don't want to do these things. They don't want to give it up. They don't want to have relationships like that. They don't want any of those things. Okay? They don't if she's actually attracted to you, she wouldn't stop doing it. She's just doing those things. The guys that she actually love are Chad and Tyrone. She was just doing those things to get you locked into the relationship. This woman could not even wait until the wedding day. She couldn't even wait until the marriage contract was signed to stop doing these things. What does that tell you? She's either repulsed by him or she just doesn't like him. Period. Or both. And she told him that she's like, I got you. I trapped you. I tricked you. And there's no more candy for you. But you're not going to do anything because I know you're such a low value man that you're going to put up with me because you've become emotionally invested, and I could do whatever I want with you now. This is how foolish some guys are. And that's why I warn you about women like this in the video. You have to have experience, and you have to be able to listen to these women very carefully and catch just one word. Sometimes it just takes one word to know that they're fooling you, that they're playing games with you, that they're trying to trick you. These women, they're dressed pretty conservative compared to the typical American woman, but they're well aware that men today do not want the typical American woman. And a man who's a high-value man that's serious about a woman is not going to go picking up these 304s. Women who dress like the typical American woman, that carries themselves like a typical American woman. You carry yourself like a typical American woman, you're automatically conveying that you have a high body count. You're automatically conveying that you're not wife material. This is why I told you it's going to be an international competition to take Western men. All right? But these women, they are no better than their American counterparts. They just know game. American women don't know game. They don't know how to compete. They don't know how to get a man because they're told that a man will just come to you. Guys, nothing lasts forever. If you're enjoying this content, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel. If you already haven't, liking the video and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Feel free to drop a super thanks if you enjoyed this video. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.